Toxic masculinity is a thing, without a doubt. But before you click off, in some cases, it's not a thing. Okay, so hear me out. Both sides, I hope you will. First, it is a thing. If you don't believe it, go Google for why women cheat, and look at the advice that men are giving other men, and how to be an alpha male. And it's shameful, without a doubt. And I live in Tennessee. Road rage with firearms is a real thing. Regardless of where you sit politically, as far as firearms go, it's a thing. It's toxic masculinity, and frankly, it's blamed on. It's blamed on just the fact that they're men. Boys will be boys, okay, and you want boys to be boys, and some girls are on board with that. Boys will be boys, I happen to disagree. Boys will not be boys. That's ridiculous. Okay, I raised a daughter, and daughters will be boys too sometimes. It's ridiculous. I think it's primarily the parents' fault, primarily the father's fault. Toxic masculinity breeds toxic masculinity, and it's something ought to be done about it. But I think it's a cultural thing, and I'm not sure that something can be done about it. I don't think that it's a political issue. I hate that it sometimes turns into a political issue, but it is what it is, guys. But I recently heard Jordan Peterson giving a talk. He was interviewed, and he sort of implied that it's the fault of the church. Okay, it's the fault of the church that men are not masculine enough, and I don't think that's the right response either. I think men are plenty masculine. Okay, if men are not masculine enough, I would say it's culture. All right, and it's raising children without fathers. I think that it's a father that instills masculinity through example, and a healthy masculinity, hopefully. Okay, it's not the church's fault. Okay, either way, for too much masculinity, not enough masculinity, it's not the church's fault. Now, there will be toxic masculinity in church members, in Christians, unfortunately, and sometimes I question the faith, the Christian. Sometimes I question a Christian. All right, whether or not they're really saved, because toxic masculinity is everywhere. Everywhere you're going to find people who are too masculine, and people who think that boys could be boys and boys should be boys, and that's that sort of thing. And it's like I said, it's shameful. But in the church, what I find tends to be the case more often than not, I find men's groups. Okay, men's groups who encourage the proper amount of masculinity, taking care of your wife as Christ, commands. All right, as taking care of your wife as Christ takes care of the church. The right amount of masculinity. The right amount. I mean the right amount, because when you need them. For instance, I got hit by a tornado 3 years ago, and did severe amounts of damage to the house and to the trees. And when I needed some men to come and help with those trees, boom, they helped. They came in droves, and they helped. They took care of the problem, and not just because of my wife did they come in droves. They came because I was a brother. That's the right amount of masculinity. And any time that I've seen in the church a man become masculine to a toxic level, other men have come around and either drove him off, okay, because he wouldn't listen, or spoke to him, came up beside him, and he did listen, and he stayed, okay? I don't think you're going to find much toxic masculinity in the church, and I don't think you're going to find much lack of masculinity in the church. I think the church, even though it's patriarchal in many cases, I don't find it to be toxic. I think the church is a safe place for women, and I think it's a very safe place for women. Thank you.